Alright buddy, this is Kermit the Gaming Hermit. I've got my littlest hermit right here. We're going to talk about holiday shopping 2020. So 2020 has been quite the year. We're not going to delve too much into that, but this holiday season is going to be different than most others just because of what COVID-19 has done. So for those of you unaware, that this is going to be a much more challenging shopping experience for you, especially if you're shopping for various gamers, for families, friends, and so forth. So I have a special guide for you to go over the top 10 hints I can provide for you to hopefully have as successful of a shopping experience than could be imagined. Now for some of you, some of these things might already be old news, but for some of you, you might actually learn some additional tips. Now if you like this guide, go ahead and hit the like and subscribe button. Hit the bell for notifications because I actually have an advanced guide where I go over 10 additional tips that are going to really make your dollar go further and hopefully be the star shopper for this holiday season. So let's get into it. Tip number 1, know who you're shopping for. So for some of you, you might be getting the first game system or game for that special person in your life this holiday season. For some others, you might be shopping for those who've been gamers for quite a long time. So knowing who you're shopping for will help give you a lot more laxity or a lot more restriction based upon their interests and desires. So a classic example might be something like, hey, your grandson might be turning 6 and, their parents say it's okay to get a game system. So you might think to yourself, what might be a good game system for someone that age? So knowing who you're shopping for and their interests, finding out as much as you can about that individual to find out what games they like. If you happen to have the same game system, taking a look at what achievements, what gamer scores they may have achieved, and you take a look and see what their interests are. So if you notice that they have a bunch of trophies or achievements that are for first-person shooters, role-playing games, sports games, you might want to take a look to see as far as what other game in that genre might have just come out or has been highly rated. And so definitely finding out as much as you can will help you a long way in your shopping experience. Tip number 2, be specific when you're trying to find out what you're shopping for this holiday season. For instance, you might have a family member who says, oh, I have a PlayStation, I want Call of Duty, Black Ops. Well, if you're shopping for Call of Duty Black Ops and they have a PlayStation system, they could have a PlayStation 3, PlayStation 4, the new PlayStation 5 coming out later this month, a PlayStation Vita, a PlayStation Portable. So if you just take a look as far as all the different PlayStation systems, you're looking at 5 different Call of Duty Black Ops games. So be very specific as far as what they want. So additionally, it could be something as far as, there could be various editions. Classic example, during changes in game systems. So for instance, this November, we'll be seeing 2 new game systems come out. The PlayStation 5, which is a successor to the PlayStation 4, and the Xbox Series S and Series X, which are successors to the Xbox One X. For instance, there are a lot of people who just this past month who thought they were pre-ordering the brand new Xbox Series X and they end up getting Xbox One X's. We saw this because Amazon had a huge spike in sales on the launch day for the Xbox Series X and S systems. So if you're not very specific, you might end up ordering the wrong thing and returns can be very challenging. So make sure you know what you're shopping for. Tip number 3, go with the shopping experience that you are going to be most comfortable performing. So for instance, this holiday season, there's going to be a lot more push for online sales, given the fact that the stores want to be more socially responsible to try to prevent COVID infections. And so prior history of there being long lines for the opening for Black Friday is going to be a thing of the past. So definitely if you're more comfortable shopping in person so you can ask questions from store associates, go ahead and go with that. If you're more comfortable shopping online just through Amazon or other retailers, go ahead and do that. Just make sure that you understand what is going to be the contingencies for that. Just because with any holiday season in the past, if you're ordering something that has to be shipped, you got to take into consideration how long are you going to wait to purchase said item to be able to get it to its destination in time for opening. So make sure you know with what method you're going to be purchasing, can you get it to where you need it to go. So definitely plan ahead. Tip number 4, are you buying a physical or digital version of a game? So this past console generation, we saw a big increase as far as sales of games as digital distribution. So years past, physical media was more common, whether it's discs or cartridges, but now some gamers might prefer to have their games digitally, not having to deal with physical media. So find out from who you're shopping this holiday season. Do they want to have the game as a digital version or a physical version? This can go a long way. Additionally, it can help you decide as far as how you plan to go about preparing things for the holidays, which I'll go into a lot more detail with the next video. Tip number 5, gotta know what's really on sale. So you'll see all throughout this holiday season big signs saying sales, marked down from this price to that price. Well, that's not always the case. So for instance, you might see a game that may have been regularly marked at $40 and they said it's down to $20, but in reality, that game might have been $20 for the last few months. And they're just really saying that, oh, well, it's previously $40, now it's $20, and they want you to think that you're really getting a good deal. So you want to shop around. Some common retailers that are really good about making sure they have best prices at launch will be places like Amazon as well as Walmart. Typically games that sell for $60 new, you can find at Walmart usually for about $49, $50 and change, just as Walmart likes to advertise their marked down prices. So if you're shopping for that little gamer like this guy, you might be able to save yourself $10. And that's just on a routine day. So making sure you know what you're getting and what's going to be the best price will be important. So looking around at other retailers to see what's going to be the best price. So definitely look ahead, plan ahead. Tip number 6, worth versus value. So this is kind of a tricky option, but the big thing you want to find out is the game you're purchasing, what kind of longevity will it get for the gamer in your life? So a classic example would be most games brand new sell for $60, and some new games, such as for PlayStation 5 and Xbox Series X and S, will be coming out as $70 releases, up from $60. It's not uncommon to see the price of games go up over a course of various console generations. We saw this happen 2 console generations ago when games went from the PS2, Xbox, and GameCube and ended up going to Xbox 360, PlayStation 3. So they were used to be $50 and they got up to $60. So now we're seeing this increase just because the cost of production going up, cost of living, etc. So definitely it's something you want to make sure that the game that you get, is this going to be a game that perhaps the gamer plays it for 10 hours and then they beat the game and they're done with it, and then they go trade in at a GameStop and only get $30 for it when you may have spent $60 for it? Or is it a game that's going to have a lot of hours of use? For instance, maybe the gamer in your life loves playing shooter games and you decide to get the new Call of Duty Black Ops game, or perhaps the next new RPG. So making sure you know what you're getting can help decide as far as what kind of value you're getting. So sometimes you'll find games that are released as compilations. Classic examples, the new Super Mario Bros. Anniversary Edition that came out for Nintendo Switch, which packs 3 classic Mario 3D games in one nice package, which can provide probably close to about 100 hours worth of gameplay. So thinking about what you're getting and hopefully getting a lot of enjoyment out of it will help you feel that you did a great job shopping. And that's why you're watching this video, and that's what you want to do for that loved one in your life. Tip number 7, timing is everything. So for instance, there are games that are going to get lots of gameplay, such as what we talked about as tip number 6. For instance, the gamer in your life, they might be huge sports fans, but the thing is that they might be huge sports fans, but do they necessarily want to have the new Madden game, which came out a couple months ago, or would they rather get the new Call of Duty Black Ops game, which is coming out now? So finding out as far as what game is going to get the most amount of value because it's the right time for it. The other thing too is that typically games will depreciate over time. There's very few times where brand new games will hold their value as far as walking into the store and still finding it at the same price when it was initially released. We see this a lot for Nintendo games. Oftentimes those games hold their value. So for instance, 2 years ago you may have gotten the brand new Zelda Breath of the Wild, and guess what? You still go into the store and you find it for the same price, MSRP of $59.99. Now occasionally you might find it on sale. So for instance, if that's a game that you definitely want to get for that gamer in your life, you might be able to find deals for $40, $50, $45. And so seeing that got marked down by $15 is probably going to be the best you might get for perhaps another year from now. So knowing the timing as far as what's coming out, what has just come out, the likelihood that they are already picked up that item is going to help you decide which game you want to get for that gamer. Tip number 8, know the retailer's policy for returns. So you may have decided to do everything you can do to make sure you get the best item for that gamer in your life, but maybe someone else got it for them already. Or perhaps they got it and they forgot they got it and didn't get around to playing it. We call it having a backlog, where you have too many games to play. So that being said, you might get that right game, but unfortunately maybe they have it already or they want something else. So knowing the return policy is going to be very important. You want to make sure that you save your receipts. One quick and easy tip can be, once you buy the item and you get the receipt, see if the retailer has a digital version of the receipt that can be emailed to you. One regular retailer does this is Best Buy. So you can have the receipt physically, digitally as an email, or you can have it as both. I usually get it as both in case I should misplace the receipt. Another thing you can do is, if they don't offer an email distribution for the receipt, pull out your smartphone, take a picture of the receipt. So in case you lose, you can say, hey, I bought on this date. Here's my cell phone and there's the receipt on it. Can you use this? That might be able to help them show that, yes, you definitely bought this. You have the receipt to show for it. So most retailers, especially brick and mortar stores, will be able to honor that for you. So you can hopefully get something that that gamer might want that perhaps you thought they didn't have already. Tip number 9, know what you're buying. So one of the big things you want to do is making sure that what you're purchasing might not be a duplicate, and knowing as far as what special values might be available. Different retailers might have special holiday bundles, whether it's from the manufacturer or from the retailer. So take a look to see what you're getting, so to make sure that you don't duplicate your efforts. One classic example might be something like trying to get a hit game for a system. For instance, Nintendo Switch, Mario Kart 8 Deluxe. Great game. It's sold over 10 million copies for the system. Very popular, and a lot of people like playing Mario Kart ever since the Super Nintendo games back in the 90s. However, if you decide to get Mario Kart 8 Deluxe at one retailer and a Switch at another retailer, you might be double dipping. By that I mean, this holiday season, the Nintendo Switch is going to have a bundle where it has Mario Kart 8 Deluxe packed in digitally with the game. So hopefully you don't buy the physical version on top of already getting the game digitally, unless you do want to have both a physical and digital version. So making sure you know what you're getting can help you make sure that your dollars are going the right direction. Alright, our final tip of the video, tip number 10. Start shopping now. So unlike prior years where a lot of sales started the week of Black Friday, the day before Black Friday, or just on Black Friday, retailers are trying to spread out their sales starting now, just because of the concerns of COVID-19 and not wanting to have people all bunched up together in their stores. So to try to avoid that, we're starting to see sales coming out now. So do your homework. Take a look to see as far as, hey, what does a certain game come out for? What is the manufacturer's suggested retail price on that game? Is it something that just got marked down because the games came out 6 months ago or a year ago? Instead of being a $60 game, now it's a $40 game or $20 game? So definitely making sure that you start taking a look at regular retailers. Common ones would be ones like Walmart, Amazon, Best Buy, Target, just name a few. So definitely also take a look to see as far as when their return policy starts. A lot of retailers will have extended returns for the holidays. So if you decide to buy from one retailer, see if their holiday returns season has already started or if it starts later, because you don't want to buy it too early and get stuck and find out that, oh, maybe that game that I bought now, I just found it for $10 less at another retailer. So definitely, hopefully with these 10 tips, you'll be able to go out there and start shopping like a pro for that gamer in your life. And if you want to take it up to the next level, tune in later this week for the advanced guide. And maybe I'll have this little guy with me. Maybe not. We'll take a look and see. Well, thanks for stopping by. And if you haven't done so already, please subscribe and click the bell for notifications and hit a like button. Share with family members and friends, co-workers, anybody else in your life. Have a wonderful day. Take care. Bye.